Imagine flying thousands of feet up in the sky and looking over one shoulder to spot men in the ocean below. It may seem easy to imagine, but once put into perspective, it is like standing 100 feet away from a book and being able to read a single letter. At around 11 o'clock in the morning, Wilbur C. Gwynn, flying his PV-1 Venture bomber, spotted the crew of the USS Indianapolis floating in the waters midway between the Gulf of the Philippines and Guam during a routine anti-submarine patrol. Reporting to his base in Palau, he radioed, "Many men in the water." This call resulted in other surrounding planes diverting to the area to help. Recognized by the surviving crew and their families as an angel from God, many of the men felt Wilbur C. Gwynn was an answer to their prayers. Almost 5 days of constant shark attacks, dehydration, starvation, and exposure to the elements had left the men exhausted and struggling to stay alive. My grandfather, Fireman Second Class Stanley Wisniewski, was rescued at a point when he could only keep his nose above water. A.J. Marks landed his plane in the water and pulled my grandfather from the water, tying him to the plane wing, along with 50 other men, until the ships could arrive to assist. He pointed his light into the sky to serve as a homing beacon for other vessels to find them. To me, there is no stronger example of a miracle than the spotting of the men of the USS Indianapolis and their rescue. These brave men inspire hope, in not just the families of the survivors, but in anyone who has ever heard of their story. They survive the cold, shark-infested waters with just their clothes on their backs, and are truly an inspiration. If these men can continue to pray, even when the thought of being saved becomes less and less possible, how can any of us ever give up hope? Miracles do happen. The survivors can attest to that. Miracles are not just uplifting, but help to inspire others. It was a true miracle that the crew of the USS Indianapolis was saved by the keen-eyed Lieutenant Wilbur C. Gwynn. In my everyday life, I remember what my grandfather and the crew of the USS Indianapolis went through, still keeping their sense of hope and persistence. In life, miracles happen, only if one continues to persevere without giving up hope. Being diagnosed with dyslexia and ADHD in 4th grade, I've had to work hard and go for weekly tutoring for years. There were many times it was hard and I was frustrated while my friends were out playing, but I thought of my grandfather and his perseverance, and I kept at it until I managed to become an independent and successful student with dreams of college. I played 4 years of varsity hockey, and there were many times where I had wanted to give up. Some practices we worked until we could not move. The whole time, even when I struggled for breath, I remembered what my grandfather had went through. He never gave up hope, so why should I? When I persevered, I helped my team achieve the first ever invitational to the state playoffs. I began participating in the MS 150 bike ride when I was young, working hard to extend the miles I could ride and pushing myself until I achieved 175 miles in 2 days. But the real achievement was raising funds for the Multiple Sclerosis Society. When I saw all those people in wheelchairs on the sides of the road cheering me on, how could I give up hope? Working hard and giving hope to others is what I think I owe to the memory of my grandfather. My grandfather and the whole crew of the USS Indianapolis are the reasons why I will never give up hope, because miracles do happen. Thank you.